Welcome to the Startup Grind.
From the beginning, if you could just tell us more about who you are, where you came from, maybe the schools you've gone to, so we can just understand a bit more about who Benjamin is.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin Chimbalanga Katubiya, born almost 50 years ago in the city of Ndola. I'm the firstborn in the family of 10. I tried to move to South Africa where I talked to a Jewish lady there. Unfortunately, I got a job quite okay. Looking at the situation, stayed for a month. I looked at the situation, crime level, and all sorts of things. Coming from a country where there's peace and you are in the midst of, it's like in a war zone, you got scared. I'm a coward. So I came back and instead of sitting, worrying, I began to do something for myself. And I started by going to Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, buying hardware. My dad got an order for me to supply door hinges to the fine course, and which I supplied, but of course my interest was not in the hardware. When I came back, we sold those, and the second trip I went for, where my interest was, that was motor vehicles parts. I was equipped with $300 that I started with, and this $300 came from having sold my musical machine, a Pioneer. I still remember very good machine, not these Chinese machines that we see today. What's important is that you begin to mitigate on the such challenges, move on, brave on, and try to find a solution. The solution right now is, of course, getting back to our suppliers. Some of them, they give us 3 months payment. Others, of course, there's 23 months. We'll get back to them and tell them, well, this is the situation in Zambia. Can you hold on? Just, of course, praying that things will improve. At the same time, of course, business is all about making money. And at the same time, there are times when you just have to brave the losses. And because once you don't pay the suppliers on time, you are inconveniencing them. They have also got other obligations, and they also have to pay waiters and things like that. So it's a chain reaction. So one needs to be to the same where that is concerned.
I like how you say business is about making money. Most of us want to get into business and we almost want to start making money quickly. How soon after you formed BUK did you actually break even, and when did you start making profits?
Do you want me to tell you how much I made from the $300?
Yes, please.
Maybe 5 times.
How many times?
Yeah, maybe 5 times.
Oh.
There are multiple stores around, so what is important is just to have a sound marketing to reach out to your customers. But importantly, again, is that when you go into business, especially in the initial years, months, one has just to pray. You might not make profit, but it's important to just have the same business, because those challenges will help you. That more or less like a stepping stone will help you to grow, to navigate around. So you don't quit, but just make sure that you learn something from those challenges.
So what are some of the attributes you think have made you successful as an entrepreneur?
Well, I'm one person that dreams and dreams big. I always remain focused in my doings, even when there are challenges. One person that is also financially disciplined. I remember one time people would just begin to talk about, I was staying in the Mivala area. People saying, but this guy's got money, why doesn't he move in my yard? Things like that. But what I'm saying, well, maybe I haven't reached the comfort zone. I'm driving a small car. I'm not going to mention anything. I'm driving a small car, but people are expecting me to drive a big car, expensive car, things like that. But again, importantly, when you are in business, even when you face challenges, avoid public opinions, because stick to what you know, stick to what you believe in, remain focused on what you're about to do, what you're doing. If you begin to be attentive, you begin to be attentive to what people are saying, well, they won't. Otherwise, it's just important that you remain disciplined financially, especially, because I've seen many times that business people. The good thing is that elected the government, it's important that we make sometimes noise to elect the authorities. But at the same time, the positive thing that also came was that, the positive thing was that they were elected the government. But I think somebody also made a video in the USA regarding more or less like teasing Stella Sata. She's not my relative anymore. But I supported her move, the advice that she said that no sell tomato. I'm supporting in the sense that she was merely saying that start somewhere. Start somewhere. You can buy tomatoes, sell to Melissa, or here. I've seen them making sandwiches and things like that. Come, you talk to them and sell them. From there, you grow your money, you begin to make tomato paste and other things. So that's what is important. You start somewhere. I told you I started from corrugated iron sheets. When everyone else was laughing at me, but I knew what I was doing. So there's a lot of potential in Zambia. The economy is growing, although of course it hasn't translated much to the masses. But what is important is that since the moment the population, of course, is growing, we can sell somebody out there wants something. Look at our population is about 14.5 million. And everyone wants to eat. Why don't you sell them something? If it's carpenter or something, kids. You know that in Zambia we have, in Africa actually, we have the highest population growth of 2.8. That is, well, I don't know whether it's scripture. I don't know. But the truth of the matter is that you can seize the moment from there. With the population growth, begin to sell them ice cream, maybe sweets, import maybe cocoa from Ivory Coast, make some chocolates and things like that. So don't just depend on imports from China or anything, but you can do something. So the potential of doing business and growing this country economically is quite high. The only problem is that we all want the government to provide something. We all, I don't know, this is the mindset. It's actually a mindset. So we need to move from that. And I thank God that you guys came up with this idea of bringing up business people so that they can begin to share their experience with others. Somebody might pick up something from what I'm saying, or from what has been said before, and begin to do something for this country, for himself and for the country, as opposed to just waiting for the government to provide everything for us. We're not in a socialist country, we're in a capitalist, or should I say, free enterprise economy. So since the moment, there's enough for everyone in this country, there's enough for to do, there's enough, should I say, there's a lot of opportunities, but it's like we just don't see that. Business is not a preserve for foreigners or white people, or Italians, or Portuguese, or Indians, or Lebanese. Even you can enter into business. So get involved. This is your country. Get involved in business. There's enough I can tell you. I remember one Chinese guy, he's a friend of mine, or should I say an acquaintance. The guy says, "Do you see an eagle on a flag?" I said, "Yes." "Do you know what it means?" I said, "No." He says, "No, we come, eat, 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 fly away."
That's interesting. So, a company like BUK, you've really grown. I would like to know if you also give, I'm sure from time to time you do require services. Do you also give business to the Zambian entrepreneurs?
I can tell you I'm prejudiced on that one. Very prejudiced.
What does your day look like as it progresses? So I just wanted to have an idea of when Benjamin wakes up in the morning, what does he do on a typical day? Thank you.
8 hours. I have a problem with that. I know many people in my circles have actually told me that this guy moves like a plane. When he says 05, he'll be there 04:55. That's how I am. So I respect time. And if you want to be successful in business, respect time. Because if you want to also do international business, respect time. Otherwise, the Japanese will come and say, well, if you can't respect time, you don't respect me. No business. I woke up usually around 4:30. What I do is I go for my prayer, I put my strong room, I pray. And lately I haven't been training. That's why you can see me in a potberry. I used to go training, but now I don't know what has happened. But usually my sleep time, looking at my gadgets, usually my sleep quality time is maybe about 3 hours. Deep sleep, 3 hours. The rest is maybe 2 hours, 2 to 5 hours. And of course, the health practitioner will tell you, well, you are ruining your health. Like, well, Jesus never collapsed. And he never used to say, you woke up early to go and pray. So I'm usually in the office by 7:30, and then I begin to do my activities. Nowadays, I rarely actually move in the marketplaces. I'm always glued in my office, and of course, doing the directions, do this, do this. So I'm a quite active person. I go home maybe by 17:30, watch TV, or read some books. It's important also to read books. If it's Wednesday, I'm in church. If it's Sunday, I'm in church. Basically, that's my activities. If I have money in my pocket, I take my girlfriend of 21 years, 22 years out.
I understand you just mentioned it, you read books. I would love to know, I understand entrepreneurs read a lot. Yes. I would love to know which books have you read over the years which have really shaped your entrepreneurial journey, which have made you strong and successful in business. Thank you. And which books would you recommend for the audience? Thank you.
About especially business books that have a testament, as opposed to the so-called 7 principles of success, 12 principles of success. There's no depth in that, but of course, it's also you can pick up something from there and begin to build the best. My favorite is actually John Maxwell. It's on the leadership. My company is growing, and I feel that I need to understand more on leadership. Otherwise, if in an enterprise like ours, if a leader is weak, then the whole company collapses. And a leader needs to create an atmosphere, an environment that is conducive for workers to flourish, work, and bring out 100% their service to the company. So those are the books that I most love, and also this Richard Brassman is one of the guys that I look at.
I'm not too clear what the vision for BUK is, if you'd care to share that. Secondly, how do you strike a balance between family and business? What are your values? What is your order of life?
My dreams are actually big. I'm seizing opportunity, every opportunity that comes, and I want to grow the company. And at the same time, offer somebody a job out there. Of course, I don't want to be like Microsoft, but what's his name? Bill Gates. But if God allows, is that going to be like him? Why not? So I want to grow my company to all corners of this country, at the same time to be of service to our industry. We look at most of the trucks that are passing by in our roads. They play a very important role in our industries, in our economy. So BUK is quite a key player in that. Without spare parts, the industry halts. How do I divide my time? Of course, family comes first. Family comes first. I normally have quality time with my wife and my children, although the two of them are not with us right now. But the little one, I spend time with her Saturdays and Sundays. In the evening, we try by all means to read the Bible together. I also assist her with the homework, and basically that. Because any success of a businessman, there's a woman behind. So if you're not going to spend quality time with your wife, well, the wife will mess you up. So I make sure that my wife is taken care of. So I spend quality time with my wife. I have time for holidays.
Wives are important, right?
Specifically the part where you talked about succession, and you mentioned companies that have been going for hundreds of years, and you want BUK to be the same. What are the actual things that you put in place to make sure that it will continue? Is it because if you leave your children, maybe somebody thinks they've got a great idea and they change things? What are the things that you make sure that your children continue and their children continue, and it goes on like?
She completes education back in the US. She will not come straight to be a manager. She might work from low rank. So remember Kaunda time, from Yunza you'll be a T-boy, messenger. So she has to learn ropes. I've got one of my nephew who graduated last year from University, sponsored by BUK. He's also in the system, and he's more or less like my advisor, my right-hand man. So I listen to them, and I can tell you that these young ones are brilliant. They're brilliant. Because they'll tell you, sir, we need to do ABC, we need to do that. So the important thing again is that even as there is succession, I won't just introduce them into the system, meaning that they're taking over from the gurus of the managers that are already there. You actually end up pissing them off. So it's important that they didn't just start somewhere and they begin to learn. Until they mature, that's when they can. Otherwise, you take them to the top there, they get excited. I'm the boss's son, I'm the boss's daughter, and well, it's every time partying and things like that. So let them learn from that scratch. And I can tell you, my daughter, my son, my nephews, every break, they engage in our business. So they understand. Of course, the message has gone to them that you are the one that are going to take off. And at the same time, I can see my solar panel. Very soon, I have nothing. So I'm considering of retiring very soon. I think in 5 years' time, I would have retired. And one thing is that I am of the opinion that we should revert back to 55 years of retirement, not the 65 years. What are the young ones going to do? You look at our situation today, there are more students being churned out in the street than the industry is taking. And at the same time, yes, the economy is growing, but the economy is not ready to absorb these that are coming into the and if you are going to take 65, the old fella can't even climb the staircase. And of course, that is slowing the progress. So time is important. So why not consign them? They retire, they use their experience. The problem again is that people that are working, when you go to work, don't just go to earn money. Make sure that you get skill, learn something, and you can also do something for yourself.
Like for me, since I was in primary school, every after I get off school, I would go sit behind the counter. And so I think what really is lacking in Zambia is we as the children of these entrepreneurs don't have the love for the business. And so when the entrepreneur who has the love and the vision for the business goes, the business is gone. But they have instilled in us this love for this business, such that even when I'm in school right now, when the lecturer says something about innovation, I'm attentive because I attribute everything to BUK. They say you need to do ABC to satisfy your employees. Everything is pointed towards BUK. So they have instilled this love for the company, and I think it's something that's really going to push us in the years to come. Thank you.
The third question might be a bit painful to some entrepreneurs. I just wanted to know, like you've been very successful, isn't there a way in which you can form an association where you mitigate people bringing in, trash, like these guys that bring spare parts that are of low quality? I think if you guys are leading by example, you can bring this country forward. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll start with the first one. We, as at December, we were 84. And as we crossed into 2016, because of the challenges that we have faced in the mining sector, we have reduced that number to about 58. We have laid some of the employees. I feel bad that they've been laid off, but the company has to survive, and that's that. How do I motivate them? I normally put myself in their shoes or in their boots. If I was to be treated the way they're being treated, how do I feel? That's the first important thing. I practice what I call conscious capitalism. Because I'm a Christian, I want to feel for my friends. It's not that they offer a service and to mistreat them. Well, I've created an enabling environment where these colleagues are able to flourish, they're able to contribute freely and without any coercion. And at the same time, I realize that no monopoly wisdom, these guys can contribute. I'm one person at times. I remember one guy telling me that, sir, the problem is that you are weak. Well, in a way it pained, but he was speaking the truth. But at the same time, that was his mind. At the same time, he just didn't understand my way of doing things. He was in the company for 2.5 years, and he thought, I'm weak. These guys would steal, they take him to police, and then they'll come in and say, release them.
Bank USA. I mean, it's a big bank, so I'm curious as to whether it was a personal application or it was under program financing. The second question is personal. Do you drink, and what advice would you have for those who do? The third question is, in business, we have this whole problem of bringing in family and how they bring you down. We hear of this thing where employment is no longer on merit, but it's from your NRC. So how do you deal with that in your company?
Most of our parts, we get them from the USA, and we trade quite a lot with the USA. And I'm chairman of the Business Linkage Committee at American Chambers of Commerce in Zambia. But before that, of course, I was just a member of American Chambers of Commerce. Through information, one of my trips in the USA, I just thought of applying to them. And just like a company would apply to any bank for assistance. And we just did that. And importantly, Zambian business people keep records. The problem is that when they begin to ask you, hey, supply us with the 3-year financial statements you don't have, that's when we begin to type in. And in the process, we make mistakes. And these are sharp guys. They will say, hey, wait a minute. And so keep records and let them be credible records. And we provided our records. And for your information, our application was processed under 6 months. And they actually told us it's amazing for a company from a third world country having that approved in 6 months. The reason is that their experience is that mostly people supply information that is incorrect, begin to come back, no, supply this, and just like that. And it will go on for maybe 2 years. But ours was actually approved in 6 months. And security, It's basically the same machinery that we bought from Exxon. The family, I told you my memory again.
Drinking.
Oh, drinking. Oh, don't get me in trouble. I don't drink. The last time I drank was when I was at Copperbelt University in 1988. And what happened then, and why I even stopped. Why I stopped was that every time we would go Starlight nightclub, we'd go and drink. I'll come back just quiet, but don't make a mistake of saying something that will take my nerves. I'll hit you. So everyone started complaining, it's too rough when he's drunk. And I immediately knew, no, this is not for me. And at the same time, I remember one incident where I was at home, in Mushiri, my stepmother. We went to drink, and then the following day I couldn't walk up. And of course, I had malaria generally. My stepmother just said, nah, she can wait. So, and somebody else took care of me. I was really down with malaria. So I realized, well, let me just quit, it's not for me. But drinking, how do I advise? Well, from the religious point of view, don't drink. But if you want to drink, that's your own decision. That's what I can say. I don't want to be in trouble, my dear. The third one?
Is there any family member that has brought you down?
Immediate is what? There's no, I've fired, I think, 2 of them before. And I can tell you, the whole clan came on me and saying, why have you done this? They said, no, but look, if I don't discipline this guy, what message am I sending to others? And they simply said, no, I'm not taking him in. I said, no, I'm not taking him. The other one also, again, because of theft, I simply say, on those ones, I'm very quick. Yeah, I'm very quick. Because I might be inclined to just let them do those behaviors, and then at the same time, others are watching. They will end up begin to say, he doesn't take action on his relatives. So on that one, I'm very mean.
We'll take the last 2 questions.
Really, your story is so inspiring. I'll be so brief. My colleague has just advised me not to be so long on the mic. Your humble beginning from $300, you are still sitting on a business that is worth $30 million.
Rebased. I don't know where you got that figure from. Rebased. You end up with creditors will be on me.
Okay, that's a credit. Anyway, this is so inspiring. And in most of us, I think, have tried at one time or the other to try to do business. I remember I tried to sell rice at work. After getting that money, the money never reached home. It ended somewhere else. Doing what you stopped maybe 26 years ago. Now, my question to you, or maybe what I need you to hit on, is really, how do you advise people that really want to come into business and they think you can only have a business like BUK when you have, maybe say, $10,000, or maybe you need to have links or connection with people who are rich. You started from town center. Right now, you are running a business which everyone wants to join. How do you just encourage those that need to come on board?
The journey of 1,000 kilometers starts with the one step. That's a big problem that I've actually seen here in Zambia, where people are waiting for capital. The main thing has always been capital. I told you I started with $300 out of the same thing that was in my possession that I sold. And then capital would be your idea. Do you know that there's what they call intellectual property rights and things like that? That is money. I just know how to navigate around. Just 2 days ago, 3 days ago, somebody came and said, he had come up with a very innovative idea on selling online. And I got to it. I said, look, I'm going to sponsor that launch, Pamo's Hotel. And then my brother came also from the States on Friday, and he was talking about in the same line. I said, well, can I connect you to this young man? And now they're talking to each other. They're going to partner. They're going to into partnership. So your idea, don't just let it die and wait until there are billions of money for you to start that business. Otherwise, somebody else will come up with a brilliant idea than yours. And so start somewhere and begin to build from there. So you can also, that's why the integrity is very important. You go to your friends, your relatives, get me some money, I've got this idea. Don't beg. If they know that you are a man of integrity, woman of integrity, you just tell, this is what I want to do. They will chip in and help you. But if they know that your character is questionable, you go to them, I want to do the first thing that, oh, this guy is going for girlfriend or is going to blow it, and things like that. You can also use orders. You get orders, they pay you in advance. Again, it's close to the same thing of character. I built my money, my business. Even now, we have very good understanding with the suppliers out there. Some of them, they've even never been to Africa. And you know, Africa is a very bad picture. But somehow, just trust me. I think that is a quality in me that I attract these guys. We built our business or capital where I would go and buy from a supplier and buy maybe $10,000. The guy would say, well, even this it would take maybe another $10,000. I come, I sell, I go back. The first, I don't know whether it's going to be a lengthy one, but when I got married, in fact, when I started business, I went the second trip to India, I almost lost everything that I bought from there. And my whole world was almost collapsing. I phoned the guy. By those days, there were no cell phones. You just go to the post office and make an international. I told this guy, this is what has happened. He told me, how much can you raise? I said, well, I can raise, I think, $4,000. Okay, you come. And I went there. I bought a ticket, went, and he gave me things on credit. That's an Indian. And in Tanzania, when I got married, you know, my wedding took place in Tanzania. And what happened was that, you know, in African society, you are the ones that sponsor your wedding. It's not a woman. So with weddings plans, you know, something comes up at the last minute. The numbers increased, or this was not there, one and one. And it happened that way. I had taken my family to go and witness the marriage ceremony there. And we arrived there, I stayed for a week, and then things began to crop up. I said, no, this is not there. I forked from what I tacked in for return trips as well. When I'm finished with my wedding, I will also buy the spare parts to take back home. So to be an import, a woman, and spare parts. So what happened was that I blew that money through extra and unforeseen expenses. And in the end, I was just saying, oh God, what am I going to feed this woman back home? Back home, there was only a few monies aligning with some of my clients. So what am I going to do? I approached one of the suppliers. So this is what has happened. Honeymoon was sour. So I approached one of the suppliers. This is my situation. Can you advance me this amount of goods I will give you? And this is this. The guy looked at me, went to his friend, they talked in their language. And I said, are you sure you're going to bring this man? I said, no, just give me 7 days or so, I'll bring. And for sure, the man said, I'll come tomorrow and pick the goods. I went the following day, picked the goods, and my wife went to Azara and the goods in Zambia, duty-free. And my wife, but duty-free. So, I sold those goods, and within 3 days, that time there was money in the company. I went back and gave the man money. And we became friends. That's how I grew my capital. Now, if you hear stories of Zambians that have gone to Mauritius, India, now China, they would even begin to send you photos on social media. So, do you know this one? This is from Zambia. Do you know money? No, give money, got goods, and things like that. So it's an embarrassment. It's really an embarrassment. We need to look at that. And if you're starting business, don't make a mistake of going to borrow from the bank. Don't make, otherwise they don't even fund you because it's a new business, you have no collateral security, the usual noise for collateral security. So you can use these avenues to raise your money. But at the same time, importantly, begin somewhere. Don't wait for that million kwacha to come for you to start business. Otherwise, your idea will become obsolete in 6 months, 12 months, and somebody else would have come up with an innovative idea.
Your last advice to the entrepreneurs?
The entrepreneurs, okay. You see, there's enough for everyone in this country. Opportunities are abundant. For us to grow this economy and better our lives, we need to begin to do something as opposed to waiting for our friends from outside. Our friends from outside, normally they just come and make money. As I said, they come, eat, they go. So this is your country. Begin to do something for yourself. And there's enough for everyone. Let's support each other. Let's not have that PhD mentality. And if you see where Zambian business is, try to help your friend. And at the same time, for those business our colleagues that are here, let us try to network. Many of our friends, they have ideas, they want to go into business, like that question that my brother asked, of course, many questions that have come. But they just don't know how to go about it. One is because there's lack of mentorship. So in this country, because everyone that grows doesn't want to mix with the others. And because maybe there's a fear is that I hope these guys, they would grow and then they bring competition. So that's a very negative, or should I say, retrogressive way of thinking. So people, there's enough for everyone in this country. Seize the moment, remain focused, have a dream and start somewhere and begin to move somewhere. Don't just complain, I know the government is not doing this, begin to do something. John F. Kennedy said that, what did he say? He said, do something for yourself, for your country, and as opposed to expecting your country to do something for you. So it's very, very important that we begin to do something for ourselves. You hear of Chinese stealing our timbers. Where are you? So it's very, don't look at me, oh, you went to Dubai and saw these days. He's a witch, or he sacrificed what? No, that is very progressive. No, who owns BUK is a white man. Oh, okay. That's the problem with Zambia. This mindset is very retrogressive. We can do something for ourselves, and this country is so beautiful, endowed with so many resources. I, for one, I see a lot of opportunities, but of course I can't be jack of all trades. Otherwise, I'll ban myself. In Bemba, I would say, 5 minutes from now. I want to stick to what I know. So the only thing I can do is that I give you some of those, my experience, it is testimony that you can pick a few things from me. I'm sure there are those negative ones, shred them, but pick out the positive things that you have heard from me. That's all.
Thank you so much. You've really inspired us, you've educated us, you've connected us to yourself. Thank you so much for taking time out to just share your journey, your experience, and let's just appreciate him again. Thank you.